Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and I've got something really exciting this time. You're looking at the brand new T-44-100. It's been available on the Russian server but never before outside of that, and you're going to have the chance to grind for one next month in a marathon series of missions. So if you've ever wanted to get yourself a tier 8 premium tank for free, then now might be your chance. This video will detail everything there is to know about the T-44-100 mission series, how long it's likely to take you, and tips and tricks to getting it done fast. So the last time there was a mission marathon series was for the FE-4202, when it was taken out from tier 10 and replaced by the Centurion Action 10 and moved to a tier 8 premium medium tank. And for the T-44-100, the format is going to be very similar. You're going to have to be a very active player, and you're going to have to get 150 kills in tanks of each nation, and also 150,000 damage in tanks of each nation within the space of a month. For each nation you complete, you will receive one mission token, and if you collect all 8, then you will be rewarded the tank for free at the end of it. Well, it's not exactly a month, it's actually 32 days, with the event ending on the morning of the 19th of October 2016 for the European server. So here we have the 1.2 million damage that you will be required to get if you want to get the tank for free across all of the 8 nations. And here we have the average damage per game that a player is likely to get, stretching from Unicorn to QQ. So if you're a pink fluffy unicorn who gets 3,000 damage in every game that they play in World of Tanks, that's going to require you 400 games to be able to complete this mission. That is, when spread over the 32 days, 12.5 games a day. That doesn't sound too bad, right, for the better players out there. However, let's look at the more realistic 2,000 damage per game. That's going to take you 600 games to be able to complete. That's 18.8 games a day. Of course, achieving this outside of tier 10 is going to be very, very difficult indeed. Let's look at something that maybe more the mid tiers can achieve, 1,000 damage per game. That's going to take you 1,200 games to be able to complete this mission. That's 37.5 games a day over the 32 days. But alternatively, if you're hard pressed to be able to do your tank's health and damage every game and you only pick up 500 damage per game, then that's going to take you 2,400 games of World of Tanks over the 32 days. That is 75 games a day. And when we take into account that most players play between 7 and 10 games per day, depending on how campy you might be feeling, then this is likely to take the best players between about 1 to 2 hours every day. The players getting 1,500 damage per game about 2 to 3 hours per day. And the low tier players, well, it's going to take you up to 10 hours every day to be able to complete this damage part of the mission. But of course, while you're farming that damage, you're also going to be hopefully killing your opponents at the same time. Here are a variety of my tanks in my garage and the amount of kills per game that I get in them. Again, use this to scale maybe where you fit into things. So that 1,200 kills, if I was to only play my T40 at tier 4 again and again and again, getting 3.37 kills per game, then it's going to take me 356 games. Or when spread over the 32 days, that is 11.13 games per day. Very efficient and deadly, that little tier 4 derp gun. Jumping up to the gorgeous tier 6 premium, the Cromwell Berlin, 2.25 kills per game, that's 533 games. That is just under 17 games per day. Let's skip past the T57 heavy and look at the Object 430. I get 1.59 kills per game, 754 games, that is 23.53 games per day. Next up, Jagdpanzer 100, under 1.4 kills per game now. That's just shy of 27 games per day. Now looking at my artillery, which I average 1 kill per game in, that's going to require me 37 games played each day. And if you struggle to be able to get a kill a game and maybe you're only getting half a kill a game, well then you're going to have to play 75 games a day. And if we add in the same values from before, if you're the Master Seal Clubber at low tier and you play 7 to 10 games per hour, well then it's going to take you between 1 and 2 hours to be able to complete this mission every day. If you're still an incredible player and you're picking up 2 kills per game, then it's going to take you between 2 to 3 hours per day to complete this mission. Let's say that you're the completely average player and you pick up 1 kill per game, then it's going to take you between 4 to 5.5 hours. And if you're only getting half a kill per game, well, you're going to have to make this pretty much your full-time job. So you might be sitting there right now saying, count me out, that sounds absolutely impossible. And yes, it pretty much will be for, I guess, 95% of you out there. Many of you might also not like to play Chinese, Japanese, or Czechoslovakian tanks. Maybe you only like French, American, and German tanks, for example. Surely there's got to be a way for you also to get your hands on the T-44-100 as well. And yep, Wargaming have got what they're calling Failsafe Options, you can purchase the individual mission tokens for each nation individually at the cost of €7 per pop, but if you want to skip all of them together, then you can pick up an all-in-one package for €48.85. So now you might be asking, well, maybe I only want to complete some of them, how much is it actually going to cost me if I mix and match the tokens in? Well, if you plan to complete 0 of the nation's marathon mission series, then you're going to have to buy 8 tokens, and that will cost you €55.92. But that would be really stupid of you, because remember, there's that package that you can buy to get them all in one bundle, which will cost you €48.85. However, for argument's sake, let's say that you just absolutely love French tanks and you don't play anything else, so you're going to complete one of the tokens. That means you're going to have to buy 7, which will cost you €48.93. But that would be a terrible mistake, because you could get it for 8 cents cheaper if you were to buy the bundle package than buying 7 tokens individually. Next, you might be asking, well, what happens if I buy one of these mission tokens but I complete the mission in the game anyway? Do I get some kind of refund? Well, yes, you do. You get 1,750 gold for each token that you purchased that you also complete in the game. And so that means that not only would you save 8 cents for purchasing the bundle rather than purchasing 7 tokens individually, but you'll also get 1,750 bonus gold as well. So for all of you super active tankers out there who are wanting to complete all 8 nations, it's going to cost you €0, and then it's very simply going to jump up by €7 each time. The reasonably active players of you out there might complete, say, half of the nations, and then you're going to have to buy 4 tokens, and that's going to cost you just shy of €28 for this tank. And I think at that price it should be worth it to pick up this tank, because you're going to be able to get a rare vehicle for much cheaper than, for example, the T-44 first prototype, which is going to be £27.85. We've got to convert this into euros, which costs about €32.50. For me, about 4 nations is the cutoff point where this tank kind of becomes worth it. I wouldn't really like to pay €35 for this tank, but at 28 and lower, I think it's worth picking up the tokens to be able to get a fully fledged tier 8 premium that does make great crew training and also nice credits for a price that's much lower than other tier 8 premium vehicles. But one thing that I've been thinking about is that as you get this bonus 1,750 gold from completing the mission in-game and also picking up a token, is it just worth buying the package anyway, irrelevant of how many times you complete it in-game, to try and get some cheap gold? So remember, if you only plan to complete one nation, you'd be an absolute muppet to buy 7 tokens individually at the price of €48.93, because you could have bought the €48.85 bundle with all 8 tokens and also got yourself 1,750 gold for free. But what if you're going to complete 2 of the nation's missions? Well, you're going to have to buy 6 tokens. That's going to cost you €41.94. For €6.91 extra and buying the bundle, that means that you're going to also get 3,500 gold as a bonus at the end of the month, effectively getting 3,500 gold for €6.91. Now, I've gone on the website and figured out how much this gold price would cost if you were to buy it individually. And 3,500 gold will usually cost €13.59, effectively getting that 3,500 gold for a 50% discount if you were only to complete 2 of the mission tokens. Now, of course, as you buy more and more gold in World of Tanks, it comes at a heavier and heavier discount. And so as we can see, the discount that you get from taking advantage of buying the bundle and being a little bit smart slowly diminishes all the way up until buying the bundle, even though you completed 8 tokens anyway, where the gold that you get is pretty much exactly the same price as if you'd bought it on the website. And so effectively, what I'm suggesting is that if you were going to buy 4 or 5 tokens anyway, then consider paying the extra price to be able to buy the bundle to get a very heavy discount on quite a large amount of gold. And especially so if you were going to buy 6 tokens, and if you were going to buy 7, well, I guess you owe me some gold, right? And so finally, let's conclude by taking a look if the T-44-100 is worth this bundle price. Let's say that you've got absolutely no time to play in the next month. Should you pay the whopping price of €48.85 to pick up a tier 8 medium tank? Well, I certainly don't think so. I think you'd be pretty crazy to do that, because there are a whole variety of other tier 8 medium tanks that you could pick up for a much cheaper price. However, on the other hand, if you're a tank collector, then you're probably not going to want to miss getting the T-44-100. I played it quite a lot at Gamescom, and it's just basically the same as a T-44, but just makes lots of credits and crew training at the same time. Realistically though, when you look at the time required to be able to pick up this tank, for even the best of players, you're not going to be getting this tank in less than 50 hours. I'd say the average player is going to have to invest about 100+ hours into World of Tanks in a month to be able to get this vehicle. And for the below average players out there, you're looking 150 up to 200 hours of World of Tanks within a month to be able to get this tank for free. And so definitely take this into account if you want to undertake this marathon mission. And remember, it is a marathon mission for a reason. And I think that the worst thing that you could do is go into this unprepared and unexpecting as to how much time you're going to have to put into it, and then feel at the end that you've wasted all that time and you needed to get the bundles anyway. My number one tip for these marathon missions is to be realistic with the amount of time that you're going to have to invest in the game in the next month. And probably the worst thing that you can do is to go into this ill-prepared and find yourself with 5 days left still needing 50% of the damage across a variety of nations. Remember, you're going to get absolutely nothing if you get 150,000 damage but only 140 kills in a nation. And equally, if you get 150 kills but you're only at 140,000 damage, well, you're not going to get anything from the mission either. And if you leave it until the last minute, then it's going to probably be too late, and then you're going to be forced to either part with the €7 per nation or be left with a rather bitter feeling that all of that effort that you put in will be for nothing. Finally, one thing I should clarify in this video is if you complete each one of the nations, you will get a whole series of personal reserves. You're going to get 3 plus 50% experience for an hour reserves, 3 plus 200% crew experience for an hours, and 3 plus 200% free experience per hours for every single nation that you complete. But keep in mind that that 1,750 gold that I was talking about is only for the failsafe options. And so don't go about grinding these missions thinking that you're going to get the 1,750 gold unless you purchase the bundle or you purchase the failsafe options individually, but then you go on to complete them anyway. And so all that's left to do is to wish you all of the best of luck for this marathon mission series, and stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to be releasing a full tank preview / is it worth it video for the T-44-100 because I've had the luxury of playing it at Gamescom, so I've already gone hands-on with this vehicle. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a like. It really helps the channel out. And let me know in the comments down below about anything that I've brought up in this video. Maybe it's the time requirements. Maybe you're impressed about these little tips I've been giving you for not purchasing the tokens individually and getting some discounted gold. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.